felt like, you know, you get to a certain age and you just want to feel more put together.
And being two women over 40,
Yeah.
we had to work our upper bodies. Somehow in there, I hope it's helping me be a better mom.
I'm 52 years old, and I've been working with Sam Ionetta for the last 8 years. I'm 6'8", you can't tell sitting down, but all my life, all my adult life, since I was 17 years old or so, I've dealt with physical pain. Generally spine things, ribs going out, neck constantly being misaligned, and just living in a lot of pain. 6 weeks of working with Sam, twice a week, I became pain-free. And in the last 8 years, I have been to a total of 2 chiropractic sessions. I have now just simply not needed those things because my body is self-correcting. And the reason it's self-correcting is because it has the core strength to do so. I work a lot in my monitors here, and as anyone who works in monitors know, after a while, you have a tendency to lean forward like this, and your neck is like this. Well, at the end of the day, if I feel stiff, it's amazing how easy I can self-correct. It never gets to the place where it goes out and stays out. All of that I owe to Sam's methodology that he used. He has an impeccable eye for structure.
I've had various trainers over the years, and most of them have been absolutely terrific guys and girls, and they've worked me out very hard. They've always wanted to know what my goals were, and they've driven me and helped me get towards their goals. The trouble is, though, is that it just created a sort of repetitive pattern where the goal tended to take over. So whether it was a triathlon or a marathon or losing a certain amount of weight or you know, a multi-day event or something like that, what would happen is that we would just be driving, and we wouldn't be dealing with the underlying patterns. And one of the things that impressed me most when I first came into functional fitness is that we didn't spend tons of time talking about my goals. They put me on a treadmill, made me walk, showed me how my foot pattern was landing, looked at how I stood up and got out of the chair, and looked at the way my shoulders were operating. And then they started to tell me some of the things that they thought may have been happening with my body. And what became very clear is that until we addressed those underlying things, when I was pushing myself so hard all those other times, I was actually, even though I was getting some short-term gains, I was making the long-term problems even worse. And you know, I'm 43 years of age now. I don't want to keep wasting time and going around in circles. I want to do the right thing, and I want to get it done.
I've got a pretty long history of damage. I've done a lot of things to my body and been in a fair amount of accidents and done lots of stuff that have left it in ill repair. I've been in a major accident on every significant kind of motor vehicle except for a boat and a train. I played years of lacrosse, rugby, soccer, ski race for a bunch of years. Sam's biggest worry was my low back pain associated with 2 vertebrae that exploded. And I had a spine fusion in '87 because of an accident. And I'd been through a bunch of different practitioners and never really found anybody that seemed to be what I needed to get it fixed. And then there was an article in the Daily Camera mentioned Sam and what his strategy was. It was, you know, exactly matched what I had imagined was what I needed. And so I called and started working out. And it's funny, I said, you know, I'm not really into getting sucked into these things. You know, I'll give you 2 months and you'll have to prove to me that what you're doing is actually on track, making sense. And that was 7 years ago, and it was. The key thing for me is I'm not a client who wants to be pain-free, because I never have been. But I don't want to be disabled. I want to keep doing the stuff I like to do. And that's what he allows me to do.